Welcome to Read the Whole Bible with Trenda Jones. I'm Trenda, and this is day 1. Let's read, and may the Lord add a blessing to the reading of His Word. Genesis chapter 1, the creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness covered the surface of the watery depths, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. There was an evening, and there was a morning one day. Then God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters, separating water from water." So God made the expanse and separated the water under the expanse from the water above the expanse. And it was so. God called the expanse sky. Evening came, and then morning, the second day. Then God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the gathering of the waters He called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and fruit trees on the earth, bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds." And it was so. The earth produced vegetation, seed-bearing plants according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Evening came, and then morning, the third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night. They will serve as signs for seasons and for days and years. They will be lights in the expanse of the sky to provide light on the earth." And it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule over the day, and the lesser light to rule over the night, as well as the stars. God placed them in the expanse of the sky to provide light on the earth, to rule the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. Evening came, and then morning, the fourth day. Then God said, "Let water swarm with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky." So God created the large sea creatures and every living creature that moves and swarms in the water, according to their kinds. He also created every winged creature according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them. "Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the waters of the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." Evening came, and then morning, the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that crawl, and the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds." And it was so. So God made the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that crawl on the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image according to our likeness. They will rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the livestock, the whole earth, and the creatures that crawl on the earth." So God created man in His own image. He created him in the image of God. He created them male and female. God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. Rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and every creature that crawls on the earth." God also said, "Look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant on the surface of the entire earth, and every tree whose fruit contains seed. This will be food for you, for all the wildlife of the earth, for every bird of the sky, and for every creature that crawls on the earth, everything having the breath of life in it. I have given every green plant for food." And it was so. God saw that all that He had made, and it was very good indeed. Evening came, and then morning, the 6th day. First Chronicles chapter 1. From Adam to Abraham. Adam, Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Japheth's sons, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras, Gomer's sons, Ashkenaz, Rephath, and Togarmah, Javan's sons, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodanim, Ham's sons, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, Cush's sons, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Reama, Sabteka, Reama's sons, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush fathered Nimrod, who was the first to become a great warrior in the earth. Mizraim fathered the people of Lud, Anam, Lehab, Naphtah, Pathros, Kasla, the Philistines came from them, and Kaphtor. Canaan fathered Sidon as his firstborn and Heth, as well as the Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Archites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. Shem's sons, Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Meshach. Arpachshad fathered Shelah, and Shelah fathered Eber. 2 sons were born to Eber. One of them was named Peleg, because the earth was divided during his lifetime. And the name of his brother was Joktan. Joktan fathered Almodad, Sheleph, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Diklah, Ebal, Abimiel, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All of these were Joktan's sons. Shem, Arpachshad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Serug, Nahor, Terah, and Abram, that is, Abraham. Abraham's descendants. Abraham's son Isaac and Ishmael. These are the family records. Nebaioth, Ishmael's firstborn, Kedar, Adil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedemah. These were Ishmael's sons, the sons born to Keturah, Abraham's concubine, Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan's sons Sheba and Dedan. Midian's sons Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All of these were Keturah's descendants. Abraham fathered Isaac. Isaac's sons Esau and Israel. Esau's sons Eliphaz, Ruel, Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. Eliphaz's sons Teman, Omar, Zepha, Gatam, and Kenaz, and by Timnah, Amalek. Ruel's sons Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. The Edomites. Seir's sons Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishan. Lotan's sons Hori and Homam. Timnah was Lotan's sister. Shobal's sons Alian, Manahath, Ebal, Shephi, and Onam. Zibeon's sons Aya and Anah. Anah's son Dishan. Dishan's sons Hamran, Ishban, Ithran, and Cheran. Ezer's sons Bilhan, Zeavan, and Joktan. Dishan's sons Uz and Aaron. These were the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the Israelites. Bela, son of Beor. Bela's town was named Dinhabah. Then Bela died. Jobab, son of Zerah from Bozrah, reigned in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. Then when Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the territory of Moab, reigned in his place. Hadad's town was named Avith. When Hadad died, Samlah from Masrekah reigned in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from Rehoboth on the Euphrates River reigned in his place. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, reigned in his place. When Baal-Hanan died, Hadad reigned in his place. Hadad's city was named Pai, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, daughter of Matred, daughter of Mezahab. Then Hadad died. Edom's chiefs, Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Oholibamah, Elah, Pinon, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These were Edom's chiefs. John chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things were created through him, and apart from him not one thing was created that has been created. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. That light shines in the darkness, and yet the darkness did not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify about the light, so that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to testify about the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was created through him, and yet the world did not recognize him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. But to all who did receive him, he gave them the right to be children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of natural descent, or of the will of the flesh, or of the will of man, but of God. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. We observed his glory, the glory as the one and only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testified concerning him and exclaimed, "This was the one of whom I said, the one coming after me ranks ahead of me, because he existed before me." Indeed, we have all received grace upon grace from his fullness. For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, the one and only Son, who is himself God and is at the Father's side. He has revealed him. James chapter 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes dispersed abroad. Greetings. Consider it a great joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you experience various trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. Now, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith without doubting. For the doubter is like the surging sea, driven and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord, being double-minded and unstable in all his ways. Let the brother of humble circumstances boast in his exaltation, but let the rich boast in his humiliation, because he will pass away like a flower of the field. For the sun rises, and together with the scorching wind dries up the grass. Its flower falls off, and its beautiful appearance perishes. In the same way, the rich person will wither away while pursuing his activities. Psalm 1. The Two Ways. How happy is the one who does not walk in the advice of the wicked, or stand in the pathway with sinners, or sit in the company of mockers. Instead, his delight is in the Lord's instruction, and he meditates on it day and night. He is like a tree planted beside flowing streams that bears its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. The wicked are not like this. Instead, they are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand up in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to ruin. That concludes our reading for today. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word, and we'll see you here again tomorrow for day 2 of reading the whole Bible with Trenda Jones.